with my band for 15 years. You know, I watched our record label that we were signed to run up $1 million tab for recording. You know, it's very difficult for all of us, you know, all the, you know, in our band to deal with a situation where we put all of our heart, love, you know, blood and soul and everything into this album. And that's not knowing actually that our record label was not going to push the record. I knew then at that particular time that I wanted to develop and build something that was geared towards developing artists and helping artists achieve what they want to achieve. And also it be a business with integrity. To riot means means an uprising. It means to fight against something. And the phoenix is a mythical bird that dies and has a rebirth and it comes back to life. I kind of feel like the music industry as a whole has done that. It's died and now it's in a rebirth state. I built this company to head up that charge, that, you know, that movement to re-inspire musicians and re-inspire artists to go out and be creative and have a home that they can go to that embraces their creativity. So, I mean, it's taking artists from 0 to 10. It's, you know, it's filling in the gaps. You know, there are some musicians that, you know, and some artists that have, you know, great music, but they don't have the image and they don't have, you know, some other aspect of their music, you know, taken care of. What we do is, as a company, is we partner up with those artists and we nurture and we build and we help to expand their abilities. The purpose for building this company is to inspire all artists. Goodnight Got Us is just the first band I decided to pick up, and I kind of think I felt, because I've been doing this for 15 years and I've been doing heavy music for 15 years, it was comfortable to me. But Riot Phoenix is about all artists and all musicians, so whatever you're into, if you're serious about it and you went home, Riot Phoenix is the place to come. When we were doing what we were doing in the early stages of our band, we didn't have a manual. There was no, you know, written out way to do this whole thing and to make things happen. We did everything on our own. I wrote this book to just give an insider's perspective from a guy who's been in the industry for 15 years. You know, we sold 8 million records and we've climbed the stairs of success. You know, we didn't take the elevator to the top, so to speak. And it was a very difficult road, but I think that the book was just an opportunity and a way for me to be able to write down and document how we got from point A to point Z, and then help other artists, you know, achieve their success and maybe avoid some of the landmines that we went through. So the book is due out in May, and you can also get a free copy of the audio version of it. P.O.D. did a graphic novel with a guy called Matt Broom, and the audio version is also going to be featured and also given as a bonus to getting a graphic novel, so be on the lookout for that. The website is going to be an extension, a more detailed extension of the book. The book touches on a lot of different sections and a lot of different levels of the industry. It touches on everything from building your core fan base to developing your marketing team, developing your music structure, and it's going to go in depth in all of those different things. We also have a section in it too that I'm really excited about that talks about marketing virally through the internet and through the web, which is a very changing, you know, field. I mean, a very changing platform right now. So I'm really excited about that. But we're going to go more in detail about these different sections in the book. And there's 11 action steps that you can take in the book, and we're going to be really diving into those. Yeah, you know, the solo project is something that's, you know, it's kind of like my baby. I mean, I've been in P.O.D. for 15 years. When I first got with the band, I wasn't a rock bass player. I started out listening to a lot of different music. I was into Earth, Wind & Fire, and I was into a lot of soul, and like, you know, the closest thing to rock that I was ever into was Jimi Hendrix. You know, but even that stuff, you know, kind of had a soul to it, you know, and I have a lot of different influences musically. So over the years, I've written, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of songs, and I think this is just an outlet for me to be able to get that music off my chest, you know what I mean? I need to get it out. You know, I've been talking about doing a solo album for a long time, and, you know, recently I put together, you know, 4 amazing musicians to come alongside with me and make this a reality. So I'm looking forward to having it come out, and it should be due out towards the end of the year. You know, I've been in that band for 15 years, and they're always going to take, you know, priority over anything that I'm doing. But, you know, that's the reason why, you know, with Riot Phoenix, I put together a team of industry professionals and guys that have been working in the business for a long time, and they're going to be the ones that are going to really be carrying the torch while I'm handling my commitment with my band. Intellectual property development, it's a membership website full of industry professionals in the film and video game and comic book industry. And what you can do as a subscriber is you can go on and create a intellectual property. Intellectual property is anything from, comic. It's comic books, it's movies. It could be a script of a story that you might have. You can create it, collaborate with artists, and these artists are, guys who say work for these big companies like Sony and some of these other artist development companies. And you can actually plug into the actual guys who are drawing, and they're doing the editing, and they're doing all this other stuff. Whereas before, as a normal person, if you weren't hooked up with MyIPD, you'd have to go to the big company and hire the company, so to speak, to get this stuff done. Basically, what it's going to do is connect the artist with the artist. Riot Phoenix is the musical department of MyIPD. So if you say you did create a video game, you need music, you're going to come to my company to get it. We're going to supply everything from the amateur musician and composer to the A-level musician and composer. And a lot of it depends on how much you want to pay to get it done or what you're actually looking for. Maybe you're looking for something that's a little different and not so mainstream. You may go with an indie guy that's in Indonesia who's writing and scoring music. And that's where you'd be able to plug into that stuff. So it's a really exciting .com. We have distribution already. The company that we're going to be going through is Koch. I really like Koch because they're a indie distribution company, and they can run at 1 or 10, which gives us a lot of flexibility. And I think in this day of very changing, the music industry is so different now than it was, back in the day. I think we need that flexibility. Maybe in the future we'll be going after a bigger distribution channel, but right now we're going to stay where we're at and see how that works out. So yeah, man, I just want to thank you for doing this interview. And I want to send a shout out to the network and Firmline. And also be on the lookout for my new band I just signed to Riot Phoenix. They're called Goodnight Goddess. Their album's due out this summer. So also be on the lookout for our new release on Columbia Records, When Angels and Serpents Dance from P.O.D. And also check out the Riot Phoenix MySpace and see what's going on in 2008.